Bienvenue, entrez, mesdames et messieurs. On fait l'interview prochaine en français. Nein, ist natürlich ein kleiner Scherz. Wir werden das Interview auf Englisch machen. Wir haben Franzosen zu Gast, aber in ihrem Sinne, glaube ich, ist Englisch besser. So we will have this interview in English. Welcome. We have here Aretha Iskandar and with her band, that's Pierre-Yves Caramboch, Cédric Seltzer, Sidney Dien and Dorian Gamba. Fantastique. Ok, d'accord. Aretha, what did your parents thought when they gave you this name, Aretha? You had to become a soul singer.
To be honest, it's predictable. They gave it to me because they were listening to a lot of Aretha Franklin when my mom was pregnant. I'm not sure if they didn't have the attention for me to become a singer, but I think I don't know.
Yeah. So they loved Aretha Franklin.
Yeah, they did.
So you had to do this in any way.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
How did that start, singing? Did you always have this musical intentions?
Actually, I started out with the piano at the age of 6.
Yeah.
It was more like classical piano as a kid. And then I went on to singing lessons. But it's only 3 years ago after I had my baccalaureate where I entered a music school in Paris called Aretha. And I did music lessons there. Yeah.
So the classical way to speak, starting with piano, singing a bit, and then music school.
Exactly, yeah.
So, and you met your band and you met at the studies in Paris.
Yeah, we actually all met at the school. Yeah.
Yeah, you're all from Paris. Yeah. What school is it in Paris?
Aretha, École de musique actuelle.
Okay. Yeah. And is this study more jazz or is it?
It's really based on modern music. Mm-hmm. So jazz is included, but it's not a jazz at school. You have course of jazz, but it's not the main thing there.
Yeah. And that fits to your musical program. You don't want to be a jazz singer, more pop, soul, or what would you describe your style of singing?
Actually, it's a bit complicated as I'm just starting music. Now I'm more I'm testing lots of different things that comes into my mind. I don't have one genre, oh, this is my style. I think I'm just trying out different things that come into my mind. And I listen to jazz, so maybe there's a tiny sometimes of jazz influence, but I wouldn't say this is my style of music properly.
Mm-hmm. The other thing is, of course, one can hear that your music is a bit influenced by French chanson, I would say. The other thing, you're half Indonesian. I think your father is Indonesian.
My father is Indonesian, yes.
Does this have any influence on you musically or personally? Do you have any contact to the country, to Indonesia, or is it an influence?
I don't think it's a musical influence because I really grew up with the American music. But I think it is not a musical influence, but more an influence in different aspects of me. Yeah, naturally, because I lived there, so it's really a different mentality when you grew up abroad, and yeah.
On the other hand, I think it would be worthwhile to rediscover this musical tradition because it has fantastic rhythmical things in Indonesian music, especially for drummers. It's a very interesting country, I think. Well, okay. And you met in the studio, but you're not a grown-up band. You're right at the start right now as a band.
So basically, I write my songs and then I ask them to help me to put it in shape and to make it sound good. Yeah.
And I heard you write your own songs too, and mixed up the program with some Stevie Wonder for the audience, of course, which is fine. In your songs, your lyrics are, well, I would say you're a bit a young, angry girl. In this lyrics, it's a bit of a protest against some aspects of modern life, isn't it?
One song, actually, the one called Gold, it's actually a protest of what's happening in our world nowadays. More more precisely, I talk about the indifference of, like, there's so much inequalities and we're indifferent towards it. Like now to see refugees here dying or like having poor people in the street is becoming normal for us, and it shouldn't be. And actually this indifference really like shocks me. And it's just a reminder, because all of us, all societies now, we're like, it's normal, and I don't think it's good.
Yeah. We have to clap because it's even in Munich we have the same problems, I would say, and it's necessary. I think it's also necessary that the music brings in some aspects of that.
And actually, I think that artistic, whether it is a music or a movie, like gives a message about a situation in a way that is more touching to the people. Like if I read something in the newspaper about refugees, I'm going to be less touched than if I see a movie or listen to a song that really like grabs you inside, you know. So I think it's important as artists to do like that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And you all love soul music? And your plans, there's another micro. Take this mic. What are your plans professional? What kind of music do you want to do in the future?
Actually, I like a lot of different kind of music. Basically, I started to listen things like rock, hard rock music, and funk when I was at high school. But as I like a lot of different kind of music, I really like to just go with an artist that already has his universe, like Aretha, for example, and try to understand it and bring as much things that I can to feed that universe. Yeah.
And drumming, because I was very impressed of your drumming. It's nice. The stops were quite. It was a tough drumming. I liked it a lot. What are your plans? Is it more rock or more jazz? It's more rock.
I play more rock, but I love more jazz and soul and hip hop and this thing. So
hip hop,
I would like to go in this.
Chris Steady Dave. Yes. It's worth to hear it because that's hip hop breaks in the drumming. So there's a lot to do.
Yes.
Okay, and you?
About me, well, just ask me some questions and I answer.
No, the question is, what are your plans professionally? What kind of music? What plans?
So I'm really into funk music as well.
Funk.
Yeah. As well as Latin music. I love Brazilian music and Cuban music. I love those styles. As well as, electronic music, like New Wave. I love New Wave.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah. I know. And that's pretty much it, actually.
So, the last one, but not the least one.
Hi.
Hi. Oh, you're a singer too.
Oh, yeah. For the music we play, I think it's the same for all of us. We are on the school and we play funk music, pop music. I would say all the music that comes from the 50s and all that appears then. So, in the car we were listening to Michael Jackson, Elton John, to AC/DC, to pop music on the radio, and we were dancing like, oh yeah.
And what about French chanson? Because there are many nice voicings when it switches to which is very chanson style.
To be honest, I started listening to French chanson when I moved to Paris, maybe 4 years ago, and it's actually the first time I ever sing in French in front of an audience, because it really scares me to sing in French, because it's my language, and to write in French, it's very, very difficult to sound good, so it's a bit of it terrorized me to sing in French.
Well, that's strange, because in Germany we had always English lyrics, always, and now we had with some interruptions. But to sing in German, that was not so obvious in Germany for a long time. Now it's normal, quite normal. Not always, but in a way. So I thought in France, with all this tradition of chanson, it's not so heavy to sing in French, but it is.
Not hard, you mean?
Yeah, it's not difficult, or it's not an.
I think it's easy to make a song in French, but to make a really good song in French, to write very beautiful words.
So English is easier.
Yes, for me, because it's not my language, so it's easier to write about yourself in a foreign language than in your language, because it's you. So.
It's funny, you won't find British or American singers who say that. Yeah, it's a Middle European problem. So then I wish you all the best and thanks for the talk.
Thank you so much.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci.
Bon courage, bonne route, bonne chance.
Merci.